Paradigm Shift TV 314. DMG the Poet. The best. Trust me. Any type of knowledge you need, anything you want to see, check them out. Paradigm Shift TV 314. Peace.
I ran up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, had me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso.
Welcome to Paradigm Shift TV 314. This is your brother, Pianki Patah Muntu Neferam Ra, aka DMG the Poet. And before I get into my spiel, let me do my usual greeting. Let me say hotep to my fellow Kemetic brothers and sisters. Let me say God bless to my Christian brothers and sisters. Let me say Islam to my Moorish brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum to my brothers and sisters in the NOI. Let me say shalom to my Hebrew brothers and sisters. And let me say peace to my brothers and sisters in the nation of gods and earths, them 5%ers. And finally, let me say Jumbo to the rest of my brothers and sisters throughout the African diaspora, be it here in the wilderness of the United States of America or beyond. I say that greeting for one reason and one reason only is because if you're Black, I'm with you and I hope you're with me. Our different ideologies shouldn't keep us from uniting. We can disagree without being disrespectfully disagreeable, and we can have unity without uniformity. So what I want to get into today, family, Brother Polight, accused of sexually assaulting a 4-year-old girl. I do not support Brother Polight in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I do not know Polight personally. I do not desire to know Brother Polight personally. Again, the evidence, at least from what I've heard, is damning. And I want no parts of an individual like that. For me, it's this simple. Any man who violates a woman, be it rape, putting his hands on her, abusing her physically, sexually, mentally, etc., is trash. Any man, any grown person who violates a child, physically, mentally, sexually abusing them, is trash. And they deserve to be thrown out with the trash. There is no forgiveness for me. So let me say that out the gate. However, what I see from a lot of people is complete stupidity to me. I see brothers and sisters lumping in the entire Black conscious community with Brother Polight. How any intelligent person could do that is a mystery to me. Ravi Zacharias is a famous Christian apologist who was accused of sexually assaulting multiple females. If I decided to lump every Christian apologist in with Ravi Zacharias, they would look at me like I had two heads, rightfully so. Yet, when I look at them like they have two heads, they try to make it make sense that they would lump the entire conscious community in with Polight. No, just like it doesn't make sense with Zacharias and you all, it doesn't make sense with Polight and us. That's number one. Number two, same token goes for the Black church. We know Bishop Eddie Long was accused of some damnable things. If I lumped every Black bishop, Black pastor, or any Black Christian in the Black church in with Bishop Eddie Long, again, they would look at me like I had four eyes. Yet when I look at them in the same manner, when they try to lump us in with Brother Polight, they try to justify doing so. Just like it makes no sense for me to lump them in with Eddie Long, it makes no sense for them to lump us in with Brother Polight. Now, I expect that kind of foolishness from our brothers in the Hebrew Israelite community. My brother Captain K went out of his way to try to say that all Christians are the same. And he uses Christian colloquially. He says people who are in the conscious community or Christians or have a Christian mentality. How they try to do that, I don't know how that works. And it really don't matter with me at this point. But I expect that kind of nonsensical shit from him. And that's my brother, but that shit don't make sense. Because again, ISUPK is separate, but nobody else is. That's fine. That makes no sense. So even when he says the entire conscious community is this or that, it holds no weight because no movement, no community, no anything is a monolith. That's not what it is. And so I've just been thinking about this, how these people, these Bible believers, these Bible thumpers are having a field day because they have a guy who shot up their precious book. And so they feel like they finally have ridded themselves of them or about to rid themselves of him. And as such, they can now rid themselves of the entire community. And that's not how that works. He is not representative of the whole community. He is representative of himself. And you can make all the analogies you want to. If he hadn't been accused of this and he was still considering himself conscious and he did something that was considered positive, etc., would you then be saying the same thing? Of course I would. And no, it's not you can't have it both ways situation. There are things that I'm for, and there are things that I'm absolutely against. And when someone does that, one of those things that I'm absolutely against, I ostracize them unequivocally. And I'm against the abuse of a child. I'm against the sexual assault of a child. I'm against the rape and abuse of women. And it's as simple as that. So, because somebody asked me, well, if he was going against a pastor in a debate and he didn't have all this hanging over him, you'd be cheering for him. Yeah, but he do have this hanging over him. So I don't fuck with him. That's stupid. Michael Jordan is I believe he the greatest basketball player who ever lived. But if he was accused of this, I wouldn't fuck with him. And I wouldn't even add him to the greatest basketball ever conversation, regardless of what he did on the court. That's me. I ain't saying you got to be the same. That's just how I ride. And so, again, every person in any community is an individual. No one person speaks for an entire community. That's not how that works. And again, if somebody in ISUPK was accused of a heinous crime, I'm sure that wouldn't be indicative of the whole ISUPK. But that's a question I ask Cap at another time. Let's go to the other thing I'm here to talk about. The godfather of Black consciousness on YouTube, SaNeter. Many people are trying to lump SaNeter in with Brother Polight as if SaNeter was accused of being in the room with him, watching him do it. The silly shit to me is people keep bringing up this thing for 3 years ago. SaNeter accused Brother Polight of a similar thing. What does one case have to do with the other? If he did know about a previous case and that case was thrown out, which he said it was, and if it's public record, you can check it, you can investigate. What does that have to do with this case? Like, you want to demonize Polight, you got him dead to rights, do so, proceed. Fillet that motherfucker if you want to. Why are you trying to drag SaNeter into it? Like, your ass is itching so bad to try to get rid of SaNeter. You want to kill two birds with one stone, that you trying to put him in the same scenario as Polight? He wasn't in the room. He's not an accomplice to this crime, yet we somehow incriminating him. It's the silliest shit to me. And it makes no sense. Nobody else would do that. Like my brother Shabaka, my brother Nobody. If I was accused of sexually assaulting a minor and I'm proved innocent, and they saying, hey, you know, we wasn't sure, but now, you know, our brother's been proven innocent. You know, this our man, this our brother. You know, we good. And then I'm accused again. How are they at fault or responsible or connected to it? It just makes no sense. So, and I'm gonna take you through what I just said again. My brother Shabaka, my brother Nobody. If I'm accused of sexually assaulting a minor, that case is thrown out because it lacked evidence or I'm found innocent, whatever the case may be. And they were apprehensive about continuing to deal with me on any level, but we reconciled based on the fact that that case was thrown out or I'm found innocent. We move forward, we're working together, and then I'm accused again later. How would they be responsible or connected to me being accused again later? That makes no sense unless they were actually there with me and party to what I was doing. See, what it is SaNeter has made a lot of enemies. He go at the Bible. We all know people are emotional about their goddamn book. We know that SaNeter has set the standard for what we do on YouTube. I wouldn't have a YouTube channel if it wasn't for me being influenced by SaNeter. Like I said, the late great Christopher Wallace, AKA the Notorious B.I.G. had a rhyme. It said, ain't no other kings in this rap thing. They siblings, nothing but my children. And that's what it is. Everybody on YouTube that got a platform that's talking about Black consciousness or SaNeter's children. They don't want to admit it, but they are. We wouldn't know who the fuck Brother Polight is. We wouldn't know who Sarah Suit and Seti is, Young Pharaoh, Shaka Amos, none of these individuals. We wouldn't know who they are if it wasn't for SaNeter. These individuals come to SaNeter channel, he builds them up, builds up their name, builds up their stock, promotes them heavily. They use his promotion, his machine, the HOK. And after they've squeezed all the juice out of that orange, they go and build their own platforms and enrich and empower themselves, paying no tribute to the man who made them what they are. That's a fact. We've seen it many, 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 many times. And so when they fail, when they fall flat on their face, when they disrespect him and he goes back at them, as he says, they bring the Frankie out, grudges are hell. And so you have all of these different haters, because if you look now, Cuba, SaNeter promoted him, helped to get his school a lot of recognition. Irene Yvette, he had her on the channel, got her a lot of pub and recognition. Michi X, all of these different people. Taharka Bay, who the fuck would know who Taharka Bay is? This clown ass 55. I mean, dude is like, what is Taharka Bay, like 60, 65 years old, rapping and shit? We wouldn't know who the fuck Taharka Bay was if it wasn't for SaNeter. Yet, he constantly makes videos going at SaNeter. Zion Lex, what a fucking hypocrite. This man's ass was itching so bad for Polight that Captain Tazoriak, another Hebrew Israelite, was calling him Lil P for Lil Polight. This man just did a video with Polight not too long ago, was in fucking love with him. And all of a sudden he's saying, I recognize this type of behavior in Polight years ago, yet you stayed up in the man's face. So what kind of cat is, what kind of dude is you? What kind of man is you? You recognize that behavior, yet you stayed in his face all the fucking time. What kind of weak shit is that? But this is Zion Lex, right? Who asked SaNeter for money for a debate, but then got in front of Captain Tazoriak and bitched out. I'm just saying. I don't get it. Zion Lex so much of a fucking hypocrite. He got Mighty Hebrew on his channel who was convicted of fucking rape. That's how much of a pussy ass hypocrite Zion Lex is. Raised in the same organization as Nasi Yashabir, who has been accused of sexually assaulting minor females twice. Yet we don't see any videos with Zion Lex going at him the way we do him going at SaNeter, who has never been accused of sexually assaulting a female. Because these people are whores. These people are treacherous. These people are snakes. Yet SaNeter is the one accused of being a snake, because he don't fuck with that Bible. People get sensitive about that goddamn book. It's crazy. So again, fuck Polight. Anybody that will violate a woman, violate a child, is trash. Throw that motherfucker out with the garbage. Period. But show me where SaNeter was in the wrong. Show me where SaNeter is an accomplice in this alleged crime. Prove that SaNeter knew Polight was doing this. Show me the connection between what SaNeter put Polight on blast for in this case. You can't do it because it don't exist. You got this motherfucker from the Solar Vision Debate League, Taz. I mean, what a bitch ass dude. He yelling at SaNeter, screaming at SaNeter, cursing at SaNeter like he know this dude. This Taz, nigga, this Taz. Okay, who the fuck are you? I don't give a fuck about you and what your name is. And he talking all this shit about what SaNeter knew about Polight, what SaNeter did regarding Polight, and you got a criminal record. Allegedly. Like, bro, what are we doing? What is all this? Why everybody balls itching so bad for SaNeter? As if he the one accused of sexually violating a minor. So I just want to say to the brother SaNeter, keep your head up. Me, personally, you have my support, you have my respect, you've been an inspiration to me. You know, you didn't put it out there before the world that you could have been doing a lot worse things than what you are. You know, went to jail, came into Black consciousness, changed your life, met up and became a follower, learned at the feet of the great, late great Dr. Khalid Muhammad, one of, if not the baddest Black man to ever walk the face of the earth. When he was taken away from us, you continued to do the work in a new and dynamic way on 125th Street, selling DVDs, right? Putting this European bastard on blast for the crimes committed against our people. And when YouTube came into play, you evolved again and set the stage for what people like myself do. So to every motherfucker that wanna have something to say about SaNeter and wanna put him in this box that he don't belong in, as if he is the person accused of committing a crime, bow down to your motherfucking father and pay respects to him and be humble, because your Black ass probably wouldn't even be on YouTube if it wasn't for SaNeter. Period. That's all I really got to say. This your brother, Pianki Patah Muntu Nefer Amon Ra, aka dmgdapoet. You don't like what I said, it don't matter to me. I said what I said. You want to challenge me, hit me up. You can come on the platform and we can hash that shit out. Or I can come on yours. I want all the motherfucking smoke. Period. So you can get this work, or you can try to give me whatever little work you got. Either way, I'm with the shits. So that's peace, family. I'm out.